Imagine you will have personalized virtual mentors available 24/7, always in good mood, guiding you through your personal challenges and offering, I think, tailored advice. And AI will increasingly integrate with technologies like VR to create immersive learning experience, allowing people to practice skills in real life scenarios. And furthermore, I think AI would revolutionize health, wellness, for example, providing real-time insight in mental and physical well-being also.
Before we start the show, I have a quick question for you. Is your resume stuck in the rejection pile? At Resume Assassin, I create powerful resumes that showcase your skills, experience, and achievements, getting you noticed by recruiters. I'll also optimize your LinkedIn profile, transforming it into a magnet for opportunity. Visit resumeassassin.com today and take charge of your job search. Visit resumeassassin.com. Today, I'm thrilled to have Dr. Joerg Storm on the show, a leading expert in AI, digital transformation, and leadership. With a remarkable following of over 650,000 on LinkedIn, he's also the founder of Digital Storm, an AI-focused newsletter with over 300,000 subscribers, reaching executives from companies like Apple, Meta, Google, and so many more. With over 20 years of global experience at companies like Siemens and Mercedes-Benz, he provides strategic guidance and insights to empower professionals to unlock their personal potential and drive digital transformation through AI-driven solutions. So in our episode today, we'll dive into how AI can enhance self-development, productivity, and success in the modern workplace. So, Dr. Joerg, before we get started, could you tell us just a little bit more about your own career journey?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Good. I'm from Germany, from a city close to Munich, and I studied economics several times, I think 3 times. I started in Munich at Siemens. 5 years later, started at Mercedes-Benz. With Mercedes-Benz, I'm working over 25 years now in several roles, strategy, sales, audit, and IT. I was, for example, 12 years in Asia, 6 years Tokyo, 6 years in China, and I was heading the IT for some production plants, heading the IT for sales and after-sales business in China, and at the moment I'm responsible for the IT infrastructure of our banking unit and the European wholesale retail network. So this is my main job. And you mentioned something before about myself. I think these 12 years Asia, this made something with me, and I look to a lot of things now very different after 12 years Asia. When I see something here in Germany, for example, Germany, we built the Berlin airport. This took 14 years, and China, Beijing, they built the biggest airport in the world in 4 years. So there are some things different, and that's why I started my social media journey, I think 6-7 years ago. And this is like if you do push-ups. At the beginning, you start, you 10, 20 push-ups, then it's game over. But if you do every day 10 or 20, at the year end, you can do suddenly 100 push-ups. And so I think it's with my social media followers, and to correct you now, in the intro, I have now on my LinkedIn brand, I would call it, on my account, around 650,000, but we have 2 accounts. We come up to 960,000 followers now, almost 1 million. Maybe we get that this year. It was my son and I. We work there as a team, and my newsletter has 370,000 subscribers. Now, I think you said 370,000 subscribers. It's growing super fast. It's an weekly AI newsletter, free, so you can subscribe here. It doesn't cost anything. It gives you some insight on AI on a weekly basis, directly into your inbox.
Awesome. Well, I'm so excited to pick your brain just a little bit today. And what I kind of noticed from your LinkedIn profile is your career is really focused on empowering people to reach their potential through AI. So what first inspired you to really explore AI as a tool for personal growth and development?
I think my journey about AI came much long before it became a buzzword, I think. And I've always have been fascinated by technology, how it can extend human potential. And during my international assignments, like China, Japan, US, I saw how digital tools could transcend cultural and also organizational barriers. And AI, I think, became for me a kind of a natural step. It's not only about automating processes, it's about creating opportunities for individuals, for humans to thrive. So, and I remember my early experience about AI was my first job at Siemens. Was a task, and I got a project like optimizing buffer stocks in a warehouse at a steel manufacturer, a very big steel manufacturer. And they produce steel coils. And we did that with neural networks in the 90s. So, and this showed me the potential. And later I worked on AI-based innovations like autonomous warehouse robots, blockchain for employee incentives. And I realized AI could empower individuals just as much as business. And I think AI is not just a tool, it's kind of a partner in growth, helping people to discover possibilities that they didn't even know that they existed. So I think this drove me to dig more into that topic.
Yeah, I love that. And it feels like a lot of people are either intimidated or scared by AI, or they just kind of see it as an opportunity to really boost their productivity and their efficiency, both in their personal lives as well as within their professional lives. And so I really love what you said about the idea of AI extending human potential, overcoming cultural barriers, as well as creating opportunities for individuals to thrive. So could you talk to us just a little bit more about, those three things, kind of starting with, how can AI actually extend our human potential? What do you mean by that?
I think especially in the we have to distinguish between AI, which is, for example, good in analyzing data, and Gen AI, which is good in creating, based on data, new data, pictures, and maximize human potential. I think, because with all these great AI tools which are right out now in the market, I think this is helping us tremendously, and there will be, for companies, definitely productivity gains, and for humans, I think this will help us also to focus on other tasks. The repetitive tasks, I think we can automate with AI. And I remember one statement, this was from Goldman Sachs, and they're normally more skeptical, and they stated this AI thing, Gen AI, the impact of Gen AI will have more impact than the invention of electricity and internet combined.
Wow.
On the global GDP. The impact on global GDP of Gen AI will be 1.2%, and electricity was, I think, 0.2%. Or was it 0.8? I think 0.8 was electricity. So
Yeah.
Huge impact of this Gen AI topic on the global business, and also I think for us people.
Yeah, that's insane to think about how much AI already has impacted the world and all of us people that live within the world, and how much it will continue to evolve and impact our day-to-day lives. So I think maybe this is a sign for everybody listening. If you've been kind of rejecting and putting off learning more about AI and how it can actually help to improve you in your day-to-day life, now may be the time to start thinking about it. Subscribe to Dr. Joerg's newsletter and start figuring out ways that you can use it, within your own daily life to really, take your life to the next level in so many ways.
That's definitely one of the biggest innovations we ever had.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Even greater than electricity, that's insane.
Yeah. And
crazy.
Internet combined.
Yeah, and internet. Internet
impact.
Changed the game.
Combined impact. And this is not from me, this is stated by Goldman Sachs.
Yeah. So what are some ways AI can help people really discover their strengths and start to unlock some of the hidden potential?
I think AI excels very good at pattern recognition, which is essential when you discover one's strengths. For example, tools like personality assessment powered by AI can provide a much clearer understanding of where some naturally excels, be it leadership, problem solving, or creative thinking. And I think AI can also analyze work habits, identifying where you're more productive, where less, what tasks energize you, what drains your focus. And I think on a more personal level, I think I've seen AI platforms recommend career paths based on skills or even suggest side hustles that align with individual interest, and think of AI as a mirror that not only reflects who you are, but also shows you who you could be. And I think by pairing these insights with tailored learning opportunity, AI helps people to develop their untapped potential in ways that feel both achievable and exciting. And to give you an example, I just had a deep dive in one application, this Kick Resume. Kick Resume. It's an application where you can upgrade your CV, update your CV, yeah? And you upload your CV, old version, and then enter some data, and at the end you get a very nice CV optimized with all the keywords out. Plus, it gives you also, based on your CV, exactly what I said, a kind of a mind map showing you, hey, did you think about this job and this job and this job? This would fit to your what you did in the past, and which fits also to your future career ideas.
Yeah, that's great. And I've also launched, a similar tool. Of course, I'm not quite as big and well known as Kick Resume. They're huge, but I have something very similar where, it's called Resume Sidekick, where it's a resume builder and it's using AI to enhance bullets and tailor resumes to the specific position, which that can be huge, especially for those people that they're not great writers. They kind of get stuck and nervous and intimidated when they go to update their resume. It can definitely help to streamline and improve that process. Absolutely. So could you share some specific examples, I guess, of where AI has made a significant impact on personal productivity or growth, either for yourself or for any of the clients that you might work with?
Yeah, certainly. I think AI has transferred my personal and professional life or workflows in quite interesting way. Yeah? For example, I utilize AI power tools like ChatGPT for brainstorming. I think that is a lot of people do.
100%.
I use Quillbot for rephrasing text documents and getting summaries. I use DeepL for translation. As you can see, I'm not a native English speaker, so sometimes I need proper translations. Super good. I use Canva and Gamma for crafting presentations. And these tools allow me to streamline content creation and ensure high quality output while it's overall saving me time. Yeah? Additionally, I'm invested in an IT startup called Musavir. It's like a mid-journey text-to-picture generator. So this means I use also that tool for picture generation, which enables me to add visual flair to my project with really minimum effort. For clients, I do some consultancy work also, for example, especially in the area of service desk. We use chatbots like ChatSimple or Dante or Blend AI. And another case, I think, is e-learning systems, which are used for the customers. And by customizing training content which aligns to the unique roles of employees and their career targets, I think we can significantly boost the engagement and increase the customer satisfaction while eliminating also a lot of inefficiencies of generic one-size-fits-all training programs.
Yeah. Yeah. So, for those of our listeners who are like, okay, you've convinced me, I want to start learning about how AI can improve my life. I guess the question would be, where should they go to find the specific tools that could help them as an individual? Because, I think what I've seen from my perspective, and I've incorporated AI into my own life in a lot of different ways. What I've noticed is that a lot of companies, not a lot of companies, almost every single company or service or platform that I use in all areas of my, especially for my business, but also in some areas, that are just platforms that I use in my own life, they've incorporated a lot of AI tools. So, how do we kind of sift through all the noise, I guess, in the AI space and figure out what are the best tools for us as individuals?
I think, it's a good question. There are a lot of tools out there in the market, and the sheer amount of AI tools, I think this feels quite overwhelming also for me.
Yeah.
But I think it always, the key is to start with your goals, or you have to ask yourself what I'm trying to achieve. When you know what you want to achieve, you can search also for some tools, and there are a lot of lot of websites. There's an AI for that, for example. There's an AI for that on website where a lot of tools are listed. Or you subscribe to my newsletter. Yeah, there are also every newsletter 5 to 10 tool recommendations and a tool of the week. But for example, yeah, for productivity purposes, improvement, there are tools like Notion or Trello, which have AI-powered features. For personal growth, there are platforms like LinkedIn Learning, Udemy, AI-driven career coaches. I think these are really excellent starting points. And if you check the reviews and the use cases, I think this can help you also to see what other people are doing in similar fields, which have similar roles. And most of those tools, they have a trial period. So I think make use of that and find tools which really fit to your needs and to your target. Yeah, I think the tool itself doesn't solve your problem. Yeah? It only helps you to makes you feel empowered and maybe inspired to do even more. Yeah? With my opinion.
Yeah, I love what you said about you can use AI for a lot of different things, but you really need to go internal first to figure out, okay, what are my goals? What do I want to achieve? And then, once you kind of write down and, pen down, nail down exactly what it is that you want to do, then you can start doing some research and start figuring out, what are some AI tools that could help facilitate me achieving these goals a lot quicker, and I think that that's such a great idea, and while I'm thinking about goals, it's, I feel like, especially with the new year coming up here, a lot of people are, setting goals for 2025. Are there any specific AI technologies that support goal setting and tracking and things like that?
Also maybe goals mean then at the end you bring it down to do list, some targets and Todoist or ClickUp. I think good tools to prioritize tasks. I think those are pretty good. But for goal setting, did I see something on that? No, don't think so. But I'm sure there is one. Is. But now you give me a new task.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's something I've been thinking about is,
I will have a look in this and I'll let you know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's something I've been thinking about a lot lately, I think, is, how can we use AI? I guess this conversation is focused on how are we, really accelerating our productivity. So, and that includes goal setting, and that includes, just self-development. And I know that you mentioned some AI resume builders and just, kind of figuring out, there are tools out there that help you figure out what types of careers may best align with your interests. Could you give us some examples of any other AI tools that we could check out, just for those of us that are kind of brushing the surface of using AI and just getting started?
I think you should use Grammarly and ChatGPT to improve your writing. I believe that's a really quick win for both on the personal and your professional communication. For career development, use platforms like Coursera, Udemy, or Skillshare, which all have an AI recommended learning path, which is tailored to your interest. I think another tip, you could use a virtual assistant like Alexa or Google Assistant for reminders and habit tracking. And I mentioned before, very good for updating CVs, or for example, Click Resume, Read AI. And I learned yesterday about a new tool called Apply AI. When you have uploaded your CV, you press a button and it sends by, you only add some additional the job profile you apply to, and it makes you a modified CV, a modified application letter, and even a follow-up email, all modified. And this is the first crazy part. The second crazy part is it also can send you CV and application letter always customized to hundreds or thousand companies which are out there without doing anything. It all runs automatically. I think for the poor HR guy, which has to read all of this. But on the other hand, that's
a whole nother conversation. Yeah.
They are also using HR tools, AI tools to analyze all the CVs, the incoming CVs.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I've had conversations on my podcast already, about, just kind of some of those AI systems that do create hundreds, if not thousands of tailored applications, and how that can be potentially even good and bad, because, it means that your resume may not be tailored to the position as much as it could be, but it's also kind of inundating and overwhelming the hiring team. Like you said, the poor HR manager that has to review all those resumes. It's, that is maybe a small part of the reason why we've seen, the saturated market that we have. I think, in 2024 and going into 2025 is, the fact that people are able to use AI now to really expedite the hiring process. So I think, yes, use those systems that we're talking about today, but make sure that you're also putting a human touch on those. Because, like what Dr. Joerg said is, yes, use ChatGPT to help you generate ideas, to help you write, but you still need to put your own thought into what ChatGPT comes up with. Because, at the end of the day, it can help you be more creative, but you still want to put your own swing on things. Otherwise, everybody's going to be, coming up with the same idea and saying the same things. And I see that a lot on LinkedIn as well. And with some of these AI response where people will hit a button and AI will respond to a post. And then you'll see like 5 people that have the exact same response to that post, which, it's like, oh, well, there's a flag right there. So yeah, use those types of systems, but then put your own twist on it, your own thoughts. Don't let AI completely think for you.
Mary, you asked me on the goal topic, and I thought about this. Now I got that. I think AI can help you in defining those goals, and there are some tools which
100%.
I just remember. One is Stride, STRIDES, and Goalscape. Those are 2 tools. They use algorithms to monitor your progress and suggest adjustments when you're falling behind. I think it's good for analyzing daily habits and recommend tweaks to align your routine to meet to the larger objective. So these 2, Stride and Goalscape, is the answer to your prior question.
Yeah. No, I love that. And I think too, if you're a basic, AI user like me, you're kind of brushing the surface with what AI can do. You can even just go to ChatGPT and say, here's a little bit about me. What are some goals that I could set for me going into the coming month or the coming year? And it's a great way to just kind of start brushing the surface of, okay, here are some ideas for what I could pursue moving forward.
Is this a question? Did you ask me that question?
Yeah. So nope. So that nope.
Oh, sorry.
No,
so
that's
you want to
okay.
know about the future. You know the future of AI.
Yeah, I'm curious. Huh? Looking into the future, how do you see AI really transforming personal development?
Okay. Good. Future of AI. I think the future of AI is super exciting. Imagine you will have personalized virtual mentors available 24/7, always in good mood, guiding you through your personal challenges and offering, I think, tailored advice. And AI will increasingly integrate with technologies like VR to create immersive learning experience, allowing people to practice skills in real life scenarios. And furthermore, I think AI would revolutionize health, wellness, for example, providing real-time insight in mental and physical well-being also. So I think and the biggest opportunity, I believe, lies in the democratization. And AI will make really high quality coaching, education, and personal growth resources available to everyone for a reasonable price tag, and not just for a privileged few ones which can afford a personal coach. And I believe we are at the brink of an area where personal development is not just a goal, but I believe this will be part of our future personal daily life, my opinion.
Yeah. So what questions am I not asking you in this conversation so far? What have I missed? Is there any other information that we need to know right now about AI?
It's a lot of questions. I think we covered a lot.
We covered a lot, didn't we?
Of topics, and as you can see my excitement for that topic. And if you look on all the research in that area, be it McKinsey, Boston Consulting, Goldman Sachs, everyone states this is the mega trend. It's not just a hype. This will not go away. And AI is basically also an accelerator for a lot of technologies around, like quantum computing, 3D printing, genealogy, medical research, healthcare, education, this will speed up and accelerate all other technologies around. I think what we see here right now, this is only the tip of the iceberg. Now imagine half a year ago, we could not do, or a year ago, tools like Kling AI or Synthesia, they have not been even available, or the videos which have been generated have been bad. But if you see how fast this got progressed over time, and we're talking about a very short period of time.
Yeah, for sure.
This gives you only a taste for the future. This will be extremely interesting and for every one of us.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have to ask, for those skeptics out there, and I know that there are some people that are skeptical of AI, or maybe they even fear AI. Is there any reason that you can think of that AI may negatively impact our lives in the future?
There are already, at the end, AI is a tool, which is trained by humans, and it all matter on with what data is used to do the training and what was the intention of the humans behind. So you see already in the past there were some cases like Google Gemini, where AI did either hallucinate or gave completely wrong answers, which was caused by the training or the input data. So I think we will see these issues more and more. You also will what is true and what is wrong, what is AI, what is a real picture. You will not recognize. You still recognize it maybe now, but wait another half year or year, then you will not see this anymore. Most likely, same for videos. And I think this is definitely a danger. Also, the data security, data privacy, IT security topic. Hackers will use AI to crack passwords based on maybe your social data. There are companies which then use AI to protect IT security. At the end, strongly believe this will there are a lot of very good use cases, and it's only a matter of how we regulate this topic.
Yeah.
If there will be no regulation, no laws around this, I believe this might have a very serious issue for every one of us. But I think in Europe, they have a very strong AI law published. Some other countries like US are not so strict, or China also not. So this has to be regulated. And then if you talk about the future, about, for example, AGI, artificial general intelligence. So this means then that the AI will be more intelligent than human being.
Yeah.
Which is difficult, because what is the difference between AI and us is we have memory. As my wife remembers everything I did, every bad thing I did.
Of course, right?
30 years ago, she knows everything. So AI will, for sure, the new AI we will see, they will have memory, will probably also feel emotions. And when this is the case, that AI will be more clever than humans, then I think this will have a very, very, very big impact on mankind overall, because then we will solve topics which we couldn't solve since we are there. But also I think the danger will be much bigger. Like what you know from all these sci-fi movies.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking over here.
There's a potential, I would say there's a potential risk. But I'm not sure when this will be the case. Everyone talks. And my new newsletter coming out tonight tackle this topic about AGI, when this will be. And some people say it will be 2025, 27, 29, but it will come.
Yeah. Yeah, a couple of interesting points that you made. I think the first that you mentioned is, AI is created by humans, obviously, but it's the intention, of the humans that are creating this AI technology. So yeah, to me, I am thinking like some of the CGI and some of the, those bots and the movies that you see where it's like they take over the world and start thinking for themselves. But yeah, I mean, is there some world in the future where humans have bad intentions and they create AI technology that could do some really horrible things?
I read something that 0.01% of humans are criminal. So there are some bad people around, but the good news about there 99.99 are not criminal and positive. So let's see that we will win here in that way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an amazing way to think about it. I think that most people in the world are just overall, they're good people with good intentions. And, I think the other thing that you mentioned that really stood out to me was the regulation piece, where you said that there have been regulations put into place in Europe. But, and I'm not an AI expert by any means, but as far as I know, there aren't a whole lot of regulations put into place yet in the United States. So could you talk to us a little bit more about the importance of maybe regulating AI and what that means, both in Europe as well as in the United States?
This is like a double-sided sword. Yeah. On the one hand, too much regulation hampers innovation.
Yeah.
So if you don't regulate anything, allow everyone to do whatever they want to do, then they can come up with a lot of innovative ideas. Like ChatGPT, which scrolls the complete internet and all magazines and all newspapers and all books. Every data is there, which leads, at the other hand, to the fact that all the people, the journalists, which worked very hard for a book and the article, suddenly see that ChatGPT is citing their content, maybe of not citing, only using their content.
Mm-hmm.
Midjourney, was it Midjourney or Runway? Runway trained their model on movies on YouTube without asking for permission. And I think we will see more and more law cases in that area. I read something about a new lawsuit. So I think this is a negative side effect. I understand. These companies, they wanted to bring a great product on the market, and they had no time to ask.
Yeah, right.
New York Times and Washington Post and Frankfurt newspaper, they had the time to ask them for approval because it would take months to get anything done. So they just did it and ask for say sorry later on.
Yeah, but ask for forgiveness.
Overall, this is a no-go. Yeah, you're reusing intellectual property, pictures of famous painter, and based on those pictures, designing new pictures in the same style and art, maybe also not correct. And there's only some examples. Intellectual property is an issue, at least for Europe. We try to regulate this. That is something like this cannot happen. That's for example, I think that was also data protection topic, that user data is protected. And that's the reason I think Apple AI is not available in Europe at the moment, but it's available in US because US seems not to be such a strict regulation, law enforcement on this topic as we. And for us, data protection is very important. And some countries like China, this is very different. Yeah? You can pay everywhere with your face if it's once registered. This at the moment, this is not possible in Germany. I don't know what is the best way to do. I think probably no one knows, but I only know too much regulation hampers innovation.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess, what made me think of that is my husband is an artist, and that was one of his biggest concerns when AI came out. It's like, AI stealing artwork from all of these starving artists, essentially, and just recreating what they've spent their life creating. And that was very frustrating for him. And then, on the flip side, well, maybe not on the flip side, but, another example would be, like all of these creators that are out there, they're concerned that now AI can use their likeness. They can take their voice, they can take their face and say that, hey, I'm promoting XYZ product, even though it's not them. It's AI. It's AI voice. It's their face. It looks like them, but it's not them. So yeah, I think that there's still a lot within the AI world that needs to be figured out.
Was it Taylor? I think was it Taylor Swift?
Yeah.
Taylor Swift having a Trump hat on or something like this. Mm-hmm. So was not she, but generated. No one saw that really, and I think we will see much and more of this in future if this is not regulated.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a completely fascinating topic. And I know that we went just a little bit off topic from professional development, but thank you so much for answering those questions. It's very, very fascinating. So yeah, Dr. Joerg, where can we find you on social media?
Yeah, I think you check me out on LinkedIn. You connect with me on LinkedIn, follow me, and subscribe to my AI newsletter. There you can see a lot of this topic which we discussed right now, best tools, latest news, AI trainings on a weekly basis, directly in your inbox and for free.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Maddie, thanks a lot.
Thanks for listening. I will be releasing episodes every Monday, so be sure to subscribe on the platform that you are watching this, give it a 5-star review, and we'll see you next time.